Welcome back. This is MLB Central presented by Hyundai. The Inside Corner is here featuring friend of the program, Jon Heyman. You can see his work here on MLB Network. You can read his work in the New York Post. He had this tweet during his visit in Seattle for All-Star Week. Seattle, folks here put cream cheese on hot dogs. Do you have visual proof of this, John?
Not with me, no.
Okay.
But someone asked Clayton Kershaw about it, and he was against it. And I had never heard of it before, but I looked it up.
Neither did I.
It's pretty common in Seattle.
Yeah, I have not heard of that. I mean, they do have the crickets there over at T-Mobile Park. So, look, they like to take chances out there in Seattle.
It's a nice city.
Hey, and clearly they're passionate about their Mariners,
God.
as evident by the Come to Seattle chants during Shohei Ohtani's at-bats at the All-Star Game. Where are you on Shohei Ohtani as we approach the deadline?
Yeah.
Is that deal, do you see a deal happening?
You know, I'm not going to rule anything out. I do believe that the owner, Artie Moreno, is still disinclined to trade him. They're going to see what happens here over the next 5 series. They're going to basically need to win them all to rule it out. So I do think that they will at least take offers, and there will be headlines about this. Whether he's actually dealt, I still say more likely no. Look, they have sponsorship deals. They'd have to give back some of the money.
Yeah.
Certainly, they'd get a draft choice, which is not what they'd get for Ohtani. I mean, even as a rental, you get more for him than anybody else who's going to be traded, not just because he plays both ways, but you also then get the sponsorship money, all of the excitement that comes along with it, and you have a 2 to 3 month courtship period. So the acquiring team's going to be able to try to convince him to stay long term. Are they going to discuss a deal anytime now before he's a free agent? No, he's got 90 days until he's a free agent. He will be the biggest free agent ever, and but still, I do think there will be big interest. Whether he's traded, I'd say more likely than not.
Ohtani is on the mound tonight as the Angels begin play a series tonight against the Houston Astros in Anaheim. All right, the Yankees, you know they would love to be in the Shohei Ohtani sweepstakes, but let's set that aside. What do you think their plans are for the deadline?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to look for an outfielder. This has been a need since the offseason. We talked about needing a left fielder. Cabrera obviously did not do it. They traded Hicks. McKinney, while playing, has done pretty well, but I obviously Judge is still out. Bowers is now out, so they need a corner outfielder. I mean, Cody Bellinger is the guy that everybody's talking about. Whether the Cubs become a trader or not, we're not sure. I think they're a better team than their record, so they're going to hang in there right to the deadline. They will look at bullpen as well. Their bullpen has been very good, but they're set in the rotation, so they're in better shape than most when it comes to the deadline, because if you need a rotation piece, it's going to be tough. And right now, obviously, with Rodon back, Cortez coming back, they're in pretty good shape on the rotation.
Need to get Severino figured out.
Yes,
that's definitely a pressing concern. What about the Cardinals? It seems like they're open for business, but what does that mean, John? Are they going to be buying, selling, or both?
Well, I think they're going to be selling. For whatever reason, this did not work. I think they were clearly the favorite going in, and you hear of clubhouse issues and whatever, but they're not playing well, obviously, and they're going to need to be a seller at this point. The Reds and the Brewers are playing pretty well, so. Wow. I do think they have good pieces to trade. Jordan Montgomery, a free agent after the year. They did try to lock him up in spring training, did not come close to doing so. They also have Jack Flaherty they could trade. Hicks is a monster out of that pen, throwing 103+ miles an hour. So those are probably the 3 most likely pieces that will get something. Obviously, I talked to, and we all talked to Nolan Arenado at the All-Star game, and, he said that he would be surprised if he's moved, but he can't say he'd be shocked at this point. I think at this point we'd all be surprised if he's moved. We don't think that's happening. So I would say that's a long shot. There certainly will be speculation about it, but I would say more likely that he stays where he is, just like with Ohtani, more likely he stays where he is.
All right, we got 2 more. Let's motor through him here. First with the Chicago White Sox. What do you think happens?
Well, they're a seller at this point. Basically, they're willing to talk about anybody except for 4 guys: Luis Robert, Cease, Vaughn, and Jimenez. Giolito will get plenty coming back as a free agent to be. You hear the Dodgers to some degree, the Rangers, the Reds, the Orioles will be looking for pitching. They have good relief pitching. Potentially they could trade Kelly, Middleton, Santos, a little bit on the young side. They may hold on to him. Lopez. So I think they'll have a good sale. As we know, they have a better talent than team. The team is not good. They do have talent. So
Tim Anderson?
Oh, he's available, but
Okay.
obviously he has not played like himself this year.
All right, and lastly, the San Diego Padres. Definitely they would have to say that they have underachieved so far. What do you think happens here?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're unlucky, and I think they have to think they're unlucky at this point. Plus 39 run differential. They're 0-8 in extra inning games. They're 5-15 in one-run games. They're hitting .223 with runners in scoring position, worst in baseball. So they're a lot better than their record. They've put all their chips in. So at this moment, they are going for it. And they're looking at pen pieces, and they're looking at hitting. Obviously, they've gotten good hitting from Soto, especially lately. Tatis has been good. Kim's been good. Machado is now getting hot. But there are certain areas where they have not really produced. Certainly at catcher, center field, they could use help there. And in the pen, obviously, if they go into a slide now, they're hot right now, but if they start slumping again, they may have to consider trading their free agents to be, and they would get a ton for Snell, who's been great.
He's been
probably
excellent.
should have been an all-star. And for Hader, who's been the best closer for my money in baseball over the last 6 years. So they could have a great sale. Would they trade Soto? Again, more likely I would say no, but, if they go into a slide, they might have to start thinking about taking offers on Soto as well.
I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. And you're right, Blake Snell maybe should have been an all-star. He is the reigning pitch hand winner, so hopefully we can catch up with Blake Snell a little bit later in the month. All right, John, great stuff as always.